guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about my Vulcar HKR Warner drift truck build. I had actually won the truck from the casino wheel spin a while back. Hope y'all enjoy. Let's jump right into the build. For armor, I went with 100%. For the brakes, I went with the race brakes. For bumpers, for the front bumper, I went with the exposed intercooler alt. For the rear bumper, I went with the Subway Tsuri Kawa, which is the drip charm. For the engine block, I went with the secondary color valve covers. For the cam cover, I went with secondary color clam belt cover. For the strut brace, I went with the sticker bomb strut brace. For engine tools, I went with the EMS upgrade level 4. For the intercooler, I went with the intercooler with twin fans. For exhaust, I went with the titanium tipped exhaust alt. For fenders, I went with the primary arches. For the grill, I went with the carbon grill. For the headlight covers, I went with the taped up lights. For the hood, for hood catches, I went with hood pins. And for the hood, I went with the carbon hood. For the horn, I left it stock. For the interior, for the dash, I went with stripped interior with carbon dash. For the dials, I went with pod tacho and dash gauges. For the doors, I went with the lightweight carbon panels. For the seats, I went with the ballistic fiber track seats. For the steering wheel, I went with the Apex Clubman. For the roll cage, I went with padded full roll cage. For the lights, for the headlights, I went with the xenon headlights. For the neon kits, for the layout, I went with front, back, and sides. For neon color, I went with the lime green. For the livery, I went with the classic Warner. For the mirrors, I went with the secondary missile mirrors. For the plate, I just went with the blue on white stock. For the respray, for the primary color, I went with classic bluish silver. For the secondary color, I went with classic bright green. For the trim color, it's lime green. Accent color is also lime green. For the roof scoops, I went with none. For the splitters, I went with the body work extension. For the spoiler, I went with the large boot lip spoiler. For sun strips, I went with black My Muck sun strip. For the suspension, I went with the competition suspension. Transmission, I went with the race transmission. For the trunk, I went with the small stature cage. For the turbo, I went with turbo tuning. For the wheels, for the wheel type, I went with track Speed Boy. For the wheel color, I went with black. For tires, for the design, I went with Chappelle green. Tire enhancements, I put bulletproof tires. For the tire smoke, I went with green. For the windows, I went with none. that is it. Hope y'all enjoy.